Suddenly and hardly pulled. I fell out of my seat over the passenger in front of me. I heard a loud bang, and during that time, the train was maintaining its speed. The coach kept swinging right and left very hard. We didn't know where we would fall. Then the coach flipped to the left, and I fell over some passengers while others fell on top of me.
Asim Rashid recalls his experience aboard train 949 when it derailed on 18th April. 23 passengers died and about 130 were injured in that crash, the latest of 5 train accidents that Egypt reported in less than a month.
I ran to the door, but it was high above. I could not reach it. Someone broke the glass, and after several attempts, I managed to jump out of the train. Once I was out, I kept running. There were a lot of my friends, relatives, and neighbors on that train. I wanted to look for them.
Asma al-Qanuti is a mother of 4. Her husband was the chief of the same train that Asim was on. The couple were preparing for their son's wedding in May. Instead, the family ended up holding their father's funeral.
When I learned that my husband's train was involved in an accident, I rushed to Cairo. I went there hoping that we'd come back home together. It's a shock, a big shock. In 4 months' time, he would have been promoted. He wouldn't have needed to board trains anymore. They're talking about financial support, but nothing will make up for losing him.
These are just some of the many stories of train accident victims all over Egypt. From 2006 to 2018, the country officially reported an average of more than 1,100 trains-related accidents every year. The deadliest was in 2002, when 350 passengers died after a train caught fire and kept speeding for 9 kilometers.
The frequent accidents that we saw recently and the repetition of train accidents in general are primarily because of the human factor in managing the system. We have many in the control systems, traffic lights and alarm systems. Since 2014, we've been developing, but the railroads in Egypt stretch for 9,500 kilometers. We need a lot of time.
Egypt says it needs about $14 billion to develop its railroad network, which is one of the oldest in the world. So far, only 15% of rail control and alarm systems in the country have been developed. The remaining 85% are operated mechanically. That means they heavily rely on humans to operate.
We managed to decrease a lot of accidents that mainly took place at railroad crossings. The most dangerous crossings have been shut down, and we've built bridges or tunnels that increased the safety at crossings. At the less dangerous crossings, we developed the alarm systems. Before, we used to hear accidents every other day.
54,000 employees work at the Egyptian railroad network. Their salaries alone amount to $270 million. This is seen as one of the main causes of accidents, as the $25 million annual deficit in funding leaves no budget allocation for rail maintenance.
The private sector must become a partner in operating the national railroad. Bringing them as investors will help in speeding up the development and reduce mistakes that lead to accidents, because by nature the private sector is more flexible than government employees. We need fundamental solutions.
1.4 million passengers commute daily by trains. Egypt has 3,500 passenger coaches and 820 locomotives. Most of them need to be refurbished or replaced. Adel Mahroui, CGTN, Cairo.